Pastor, how are you?
Hey Mike, how are you?
Ndinofara chaizo.
No, ndi right. Good to meet you.
Yes, Pastor. Ndine mvunzo ndinawo pana Romans chapter 14.
Romans 14.
Yes, Romans chapter 14. Taverenga from verse 1 to verse 4.
Okay.
Verse 1, receive one who is weak in the faith, but not to disputes over doubtful things.
Okay.
For one believes he may eat all things, but he who is weak eats only vegetables.
All right.
Verse 3, let not him who eats despise him who does not eat, and let not him who does not eat judge him who eats, for
Okay.
God has received him. Verse 4, who are you to judge another's servant? To his own master he stands or falls. Indeed, he will be made to stand, for God is able to make him stand. Saka Pastor, mvunzo wandinawo ndewekuti zoni ingawani Paul ari kuti hatifaniri kutongana pamusoro pezvinhu zvekudya.
Okay. All right. I remember some time back, I think it was with Kuda, but takaita principles of biblical interpretation.
Okay.
Takaisa about 5 or 6 principles. One of those principles takati inonzi tota scriptura.
Okay. Okay.
Tota scriptura is not the scripture in its totality.
All right. Okay.
Kurauti kana uchiverenga Bible, don't just focus on one verse or one passage and then, come up with some teaching or meaning out of that one. Try to ask yourself kuti elsewhere Bible rinodzidzisa kuti kudii pamusoro penyaya. And was one. Some verse watoverenga zveshua ukaita zoom in on those only. But you'll discover one thing. Ndikuverengere Isaiah 28 verse 10. Ndiye nobudisa principle here ndiri kutaura iwe. Isaiah 28 verse 10 inoti ndikandekera verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little. And then achadzidzisa doctrine. Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? And it needs mature people, those that are weaned from the milk. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, when you are studying, it must be line upon line. That's line. Verse upon verse. Here a little, there a little. Yes. In Romans a little. In 1 Corinthians a little. Look what 1 Corinthians. All right. Yeah, because Paul anongotaura nyaya yezvokudya kuna Romans chete. And ari kuti asingadyi anzi ari weak in faith anodya mavegetables. Akasimba anodya nyama. Iwe unodya nyama usashora anodya mavegetables. Iwe unodya mavegetables usashora ari kudya nyama. But havasi paakatanga kutaura nyaya iyi. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 1 changoerenga yese. Very interesting because kangoerenga yese nofana kupindura nyaya iyi. Now about food sacrificed to idols. We know that we all possess knowledge. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. The man who thinks he knows something does not yet know as he ought to know. But the man who loves God is known by God. Verse 4. So then, about eating food sacrificed to idols. This is the background context of the issue in Romans 14.
Okay.
Romans 14 angotanga kuti anodya nasingadyi. But when Corinthians about eating food sacrificed to idols. We know that an idol is nothing at all in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if they are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father from whom all things came and for whom we live. And there is but one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom all things came and through whom we live. Verse 7. But not everyone knows this. Some people are still so accustomed to idols that when they eat such food, they think of it as having been sacrificed to an idol. And since their conscience is weak, it is defiled.
Okay.
But food does not bring us near to God. We are no worse if we do not eat, and no better off if we do. Be careful, however, that the exercise of your freedom does not become a stumbling block to the weak. For if anyone with a weak conscience sees you who have this knowledge ipi an idol is nothing. Okay? Sees you who have this knowledge eating in an idol's temple, won't he be emboldened to eat what has been sacrificed to idols?
Okay.
So this weak brother for whom Christ died is destroyed by your knowledge. When you sin against your brothers in this way and wound their weak conscience, you sin against Christ.
Okay.
Therefore, if what I eat causes my brother to fall into sin, I will never eat meat again, so that I will not cause him to fall. So what was happening during Paul's time? Kune vakanga vachiri kufunga kuti ma-idols ane power.
Okay.
Nokuti vakapira mhuka yavo kuan-idol vasati vaiuraya tsika dzaiitwa nemahedheni. Vaitofunga kuti idol iyi ine zvayaita kumhuka iyi. Saka vanenge vaanguna Kristu manje but vachine pfungwa yekuti idol rine power. Vaiti haina hangu nyama yakapiriswa kuzvidhori handidyi. But vanga vakuziva kuti aiwa idol haina nebasa. Vaiti unzai kunoti tidyi. Saka zvaitorwa kuti ari kufunga kuti idol rine power ari kunzi achiri weak pakutenda. Anga akuziva kuti idol harina power ari kunzi strong pakutenda. So Paul is now saying kuna Romans manje ari weak pakutenda anoti ndo zvangu mavheji. Ariko ndo conclusion yaitoita Paul pa verse 18. Paul ari kuti therefore if what I eat causes my brother to sin, then I will not eat meat. So Paul akuti don't take advantage knowledge yako kuti wakuziva kuti an idol is nothing to offend asati apa level rawari iwewe rekuziva. So Paul ari kuti hasi kuti dya izvezvisi ari kutodhila nesituation yaivapo nguva iyoyo yevanhu vaifunga kuti nyama yapiriswa kuzvidhori chidhori ichi chatokanganiswa, nyama yatokanganiswa nechidhori. Vamwe vati haimi chidhori mani ivhu iri hana nebasa rese hapana. Saka anga dzadza two groups. Ndo issue iri kuadresswa naPaul pana chapter 14 yaRomans. Ari kufunga kuti nyama yapiriswa kuzvidhori inomukanganisa, ngadyake mai mavheji. Anoziva kuti hapana ngadye nyama but musabva maita madivisions over that because it's not important. Saka azoti food does not commend us to God. We're not better if we eat or worse if we don't eat. And musaite issue over that. But please know kuti don't offend each other. Usaito kuti ari weak pakutenda apesera bold mukutadza because aona iwewe uchiita zvinhu zviri careless.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
No, you're welcome.
Indeed. My questions are where for to
always feel free.
Thank you.
Sure.